Have you ever wondered why we vote using numbers? To understand why this is important, let's first imagine an election where this system doesn't exist. In this scenario, each voter only chooses one candidate. To simplify, let's take a look at a hypothetical district of 1,000 voters. On this district, just 3 candidates contest: John, Mary, and Stanley. From these, 2 candidates will get elected to Parliament. John is very popular, and therefore he gets an impressive 900 votes. Mary also has a strong following, but since her ideas are somewhat similar to John's, most of her followers choose the more popular John. She therefore receives just 40 votes. Stanley is not popular at all among general voters, and just 60 diehards vote for him, while the rest think his ideas are dangerous. Using a one-voter, one-choice system, John and Stanley would therefore get elected as the 2 with the most votes. Is this fair representation? There is no arguing that John was rightly elected. However, when comparing Mary and Stanley, 940 would have wanted Mary as one of their 2 elected candidates, while only 60 would have wanted Stanley. Although this is an exaggerated example, a similar situation occurs regularly in Malta, particularly in districts where the party leaders contest. The Single Transferrable Vote system is a method in which all the surplus votes which a candidate receives are not wasted. To identify the quantity of surplus votes, a quota is established by a fixed formula, which shows the number of votes required to guarantee 100% that a particular candidate is elected. The extra, or surplus votes, would be the number of votes above this quota. Once the quota is reached, the second preference of the voting bills are then distributed to the other candidates on a pro rata basis, based on the number of surplus votes. Going back to our earlier example, the quota would be 334 votes. On the first count, John clearly surpassed this quota with flying colours. Thus, he has 566 surplus votes available to be distributed among the rest based on the second preference. This process is called the second count. In this hypothetical case, all the second preferences were given to Mary, so she receives an additional 566 votes, thus surpassing the quota to get elected. In reality, the process would probably be less straightforward, since it is very unlikely that all second preferences are given to the same person. Can this system go wrong? Yes, and it did. In 1981, the Nationalist Party received the majority of votes in Malta. However, due to the district system, the Malta Labour Party, led by Dom Mintoff, won the election as it elected more seats in Parliament with the single transferable voting system. Despite what the Nationalist Party at the time suggested, the victory was in line with the constitution and thus legitimate. However, a simple tweak was then applied to avoid such a situation in the future. The party which receives the highest number of ones in the country will receive additional seats to ensure that it also has a majority in Parliament. In fact, with this change, the 1981 and 1987 elections had very similar results, but the outcome was a different victor. If you feel that we burdened you with too much detail and numbers in this video, don't worry, you can just take away this. While it is recommended that you number all your preferred candidates on your vote, keep in mind the disproportionate importance of your number 1. When choosing your first preference, you are not only choosing your favourite candidate, but also, and perhaps more importantly, the party that you want to govern for the next 5 years.